The connect here is that, Kapil, you're doing something that's actually really unique. It is bringing about change.
And if someone says, let's play 28, I think literally people are fighting to play the game.
So I find this fascinating because I love learning about new things.
For us, playing cards was also a cheap form of entertainment.
Absolutely.
And, anywhere, anytime, holidays, homes, families.
And I think that's a really good point because, the fact that it's something that's accessible to everyone is fantastic. Hi everyone and welcome back to Like the Tara Sharma show. We have a fabulous guest with us here today. We've got Kapil Kejriwal, who is a dear friend and he's also the managing director of Parkson's Carta Mundi that is the leading manufacturer and distributor of all the leading playing cards in the world. So thank you so much, Kapil, for being here.
Thank you, Tara, for having me. I think it's quite interesting. It's the first time we're going to be having a chat. So I'm very, very excited about this. And so let's do this together.
Looking forward. And as I always say, hope it's a success, touch wood. But what I also find really interesting is, because my show is all about chatting to inspirational people who are bringing about positive change. And I genuinely believe everyone has a story. The connect here is that, Kapil, you're doing something that's actually really unique. It is bringing about change because cards, there's always been a little bit of a stigma, right? Whereas now I feel people are playing cards more. The younger generation is taking to them to playing cards. Bridge, other mind sports have become so popular. Tell us a little bit about cards in your childhood and how you actually got into all this.
So I think quite interesting. I remember, when I was a kid, we used to stay in a joint family. I'm Marwadi. So every Sunday, I remember Dad and his brothers from all over, it was a ritual. They used to come home and they used to play cards in the living room and they would primarily be playing the game of bridge. And I remember within 15 minutes of them gathering, you had to leave the house simply because these guys were loud. They were rowdy, and I actually thought, is someone are they ready to murder each other?
Yeah, competitive.
So competitive, but it was all for the love of the game.
Got it.
So these guys were loud. When I say loud, I mean bringing the house down loud, So that's my earliest memory of playing cards. And of course, I would say, growing up, luckily for us, we grew up quite privileged. So from when I remember Dad, Uncle, they were already in the printing business. And one of the businesses within that scope was playing cards.
Right.
So I've been exposed to playing cards, I would say very, very young. And not only because of the business, in fact, less because of the business, but more seeing people play.
Yeah.
And I think for me, obviously, earliest memories were Dad and his brothers, and that, translated further as the years went by into a lot of family gatherings where we started playing a lot of home games.
Nice.
And I remember there was this card game called 28. And I would say even now, when we gather together at some of the gatherings, and if someone says, let's play 28, I think literally people are fighting to play the game.
How lovely.
So I think these are some of my earliest memories, of playing cards in general. And I would say only when I got into the business did I realize that there was a stigma on playing cards. So right up till 18, 19 years old, it never occurred to me that, gambling was a major byproduct of playing cards. Because for the first few years, till I was 18, 19, playing cards meant family, games like 28, sometimes rummy.
Yeah.
But for Dad, etc., it was bridge. So varied scope of different. And of course, besides that, you also had the various board games. Because don't forget, when we were growing up, we didn't have access to, the kids,
digital stuff.
what kids have today.
Absolutely.
So for us, playing cards was also a cheap form of entertainment.
Absolutely.
And anywhere, anytime, holidays, homes, families.
Absolutely.
You're sorted. So,
and I think that's a really good point because, the fact that it's something that's accessible to everyone is fantastic, because as you mentioned, okay, being privileged and grateful for that, but it's not actually something that's restricted to just the privilege, which is an amazing thing, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, I would say it's also a leveler, right?
Yeah,
so today you
absolutely.
have games like poker, where a lot of people are playing, competitively, not necessarily for the money, but for
Absolutely.
the satisfaction, for the, to show that, yes,
Yeah.
even I, through this medium, which is a mind game, I'm up there.
Absolutely. And I noticed the kids, honestly, they're really sharp. They pick up all this faster than us. I'm not a very big card person, I have to admit. So I find this fascinating because I love learning about new things, and I think I'm going to start learning more. In fact, the kids keep telling me, Mama, you're not sharp enough to pick things up like we do. And they play a lot of cards, and there's no gambling,
Yes.
obviously, involved. So I think it's actually really time to break that stigma, because it's a great way for kids who, like, our kids are really sporty. All of our kids are friends, of course, so they are. But I think also to do stuff which is not screen related, but also sharpens the mind, is so important. And cards really allows that, right?
Absolutely. It's also a way, in fact, of digital detox.
Absolutely.
Because today there's so much stimuli
Yeah.
out there in the world, whether you're playing sport or you're into academics. I mean, there's 10 things one can do at any given point.
Yeah.
And parents today want their kids to get off the screen. And I think playing cards is a great way to sort of detox from the digital
Absolutely.
stimuli that is out there. And in fact, it keeps the mind active.
Yeah.
It's something along the lines of chess also, a
Yeah.
few games. So
Yeah.
all in all, I think there's more positives
Absolutely.
rather than negatives. So
No, and in fact, my mother-in-law plays a lot of bridge.
Absolutely.
And she keeps wanting the kids to learn and talking about how it's so good with sharpening your mind. And so Kapil, just a few words on Bicycle and Bonus, and these legacy, amazing, brands that
Absolutely.
you're manufacturing.
So I think let me first start with Bonus. So again, you mentioned childhood. So I would say, growing up, when we were playing cards, there was always this fascination for a brand called Bonus. And invariably, because we played so much, you every now and then came across a deck of Bonus. And I remember when you felt that deck, it felt, even in those days, very, very special. So it was something. So let's not forget that playing cards at the end of the day is all about touch and feel.
Yeah.
And that Bonus deck, the touch, the feel, was extremely special. So Bonus, I would say, dates back. Historically in India, it was present, I would say, even pre-independence.
Really?
Yes, that's how iconic Bonus is.
But it's interesting, when you say it, I immediately see Bonus. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Not just the Bonus I've seen today, but I remember.
So Bonus in India, Tara, I would say, is very generic, is a generic term for playing cards.
Yeah.
So today, if you were to ask, probably pick any town or city or village, and you just ask people randomly, what does Bonus mean to you? I'm pretty sure that playing cards would rank up there in terms of the responses. So that's
Absolutely.
how historic Bonus is. And I would say, so Bonus, growing up, because we were also in the business, it was always a dream that, listen, this is the benchmark. So when we manufacture, this is what we got to aim for.
Yeah.
And it's quite amazing. So it was always a dream. And then sometimes dreams do come true.
Yeah, amazing.
So it's amazing. So I would say in 2020, early 2020 or 2019, my partners, which is Cartamundi, which is a Belgian-based company, which is also the largest manufacturer and distributor of playing cards and all playing cards like collectibles, etc. They went and bought the United States playing card company, which owns the brand of Bonus.
Oh, wow. My
Exactly.
gosh.
And of course, USPC also owns Bicycle, of course, which I'll talk about later, but they bought Bonus, and or rather they bought USPC, which owns brands like Bonus, B, Bicycle, Copag, Grimoire, which are, which serve a different purpose for different communities. And what happened was that Bonus, we had Bonus in India pre-independence, and then it disappeared. However, it continued to come to India via Dubai, via Hong Kong, etc.
Yeah.
But after we bought it, we in India actually had the chance to manufacture the product for Katamundi out of India.
Amazing.
So,
a
yes.
real dream, huh? For you who grew up like dreaming of...
No, absolutely. And I would say, it took us a year to actually master the technique of how bonus was made in the United States and to replicate that in India. It took us a year.
Wow.
But I would say now, we did it. So we are now producing bonus out of India for the Middle Eastern market, which is actually the biggest or the primary market.
Yeah.
And I would say it's still the same bonus. It's the same paperboard that was used back in the day. So the paperboard still comes from the United States.
Amazing.
We still use very special coatings. So for the customer, for the consumer, I don't think he or she can really tell the difference whether it's made in India or made in the United States. So I think that was very important for us, to provide that same experience rather than a diluted or a different experience. And I would say it took us a year, but we did it.
That's amazing. And who would know? Like, honestly, this is why I find conversations like this so enriching, because you learn so much. I had no idea so much goes into a pack of cards, right? The amount of R&D and everything that goes into making it perfect. And when you say it's about touch and feel, you're so right, because I can again feel the softness and the, almost like air.
Yes. So for bicycle, we have the air cushion finish.
Yeah.
In fact, it's called the air cushion finish. Yeah. And which I will talk about. But coming back to bonus, so after we mastered the technique and we are now supplying to the Middle East, we're also, I can say very proudly that we're also ready and with a new version to launch in India. And I think that's what's most exciting for me, because, that's where I say that dreams do come true.
Amazing.
So I think it's going to be a challenge, but, that's what it's all about, right?
Amazing. And tell us a little bit about the amazing, like the collectible side of the cards, because I know you have some fantastic tie-ups with Disney and other...
Yes. So I think very good question. So I think we can immediately now, since you mentioned collectibles, we can talk about bicycle. So bicycle is, of course, one of the other brands that USPCC owned. And of course, it's now owned by Katamundi. And I would say bicycle is, in the world of playing cards. It's the OG as what kids or whatever the new gen would say. But honestly, bicycle as a deck, I would say if there was ever a perfect deck, it's bicycle. At the end of the day, even a blind man, when he holds a deck of bicycle, he knows it's bicycle. All magicians in the world only use bicycle.
That's amazing.
And I think that is the ultimate proof, because for a magician, it's what we call haathon ki safai. And every artist needs to be comfortable when they are performing, right?
Absolutely.
And for a magician, that comfort comes from bicycle. So that's how iconic bicycle is. It's, I think, almost a 200-year-old brand. I think, we have tie-ups with bicycle, I would say, with Walt Disney.
Yeah.
We have almost 40,
I've seen the
50.
Frozen and all the different, amazing.
We have the works, right from the classics, which is your Mickey, etc., right to the new movies.
Amazing.
Yes.
So let me also just because they're here. So this bonus playing cards. Do you want to do the honors? And
yes. So this is this is the bonus that we manufacture for the Middle East.
Wow.
The traditional, classic, iconic deck.
Yeah.
So you want me to open it?
Yeah, please. Let me also touch and feel.
Yes. I think that is the ultimate. You know what? I've opened it. I've not. Why don't you pull out the cards from the wrap so that you'll know and you tell me what you feel about it. Yes. Go for it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, my gosh. They're so soft and amazing. Huh? Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I would say bonus is, so the reason why you have these kind of images is also because it's very specific to our Asian market.
Right.
So people in India, people in the Middle East, in the subcontinent in general, they like color.
Yeah.
You know, and they like simple stuff that doesn't really hurt the eye.
Yeah,
So I would say simple, standard, pleasing to the eye card backs. And,
Amazing.
you know, they fan out also brilliantly.
You're the expert.
I'm not really the expert, but I know a little bit.
Much more than me.
But they fan out brilliantly,
Oh, wow.
you know, so.
Do you know any magic tricks?
I'm not a magician, but...
But at some point we'll have a magician because I'd like to learn some and at least know some.
No, absolutely.
But
so
amazing.
these are, so this is
The
bonus. And then, of
that's
course,
bicycle. Wow.
as far as bicycle is concerned, you know, we have, of course, this is the standard, which is the simple,
Yeah.
basic version.
Amazing.
And then along with that, I would say for bicycle, we really have, so we have Disney.
Oh, wow.
We have,
So cool.
we have a tie-up.
Did we even know this? I didn't, honestly. That's what I love about this learning.
We also have a tie-up with the Wizard of Oz, which is iconic.
Oh, wow.
We have Disney, a version of Spellbound.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, the list
Amazing.
is quite exhaustive. In fact, we have almost, I would say, more than 1,000 odd SKUs for
Wow.
bicycle the world over. Each
Amazing.
specific to that region. So the range is pretty iconic. I mean, you have Disney Moana.
Oh, wow.
You have the Stargazer, which is one of the best sellers. We even have, yes.
Amazing.
So we have
this was part of our kids' Christmas presents, I have to admit.
So we even have a bicycle with different cocktail recipes.
Oh, wow.
We have one with the cities of the world.
That is something that I think our kids and Rupak will love. They
Yes.
are so into countries and capitals and all. So this kind of thing would be...
So
fab.
I think talking of bicycles legacy, you know. So here we go. So this is a 140, this is the 140th year of bicycle in 25. And, you know, this deck was made as a celebration. So,
Wow. Amazing.
and what I spoke about Diwali, so this is just a proto of the bicycle Diwali
How
version.
cool. Look with the diya. Amazing. Wow. So this is honestly, like I said, you learn so much by having conversations like this, because now I think if any of you, and when you do play cards, you're going to really look at it and feel and touch it and realize how much goes into it.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's what's so fantastic, as we said, is it's such a leveler. People from all communities, from all demographics play cards, and I think it's coming up more and more. And as I said, we're going to talk to some young champions who are playing mind sports using cards. I'm going to learn more. Kapil, such a pleasure. So much. I've learned so much. And yeah, any final words you'd like to say?
I would say, you know, our bicycle bonus, our products, I think our main purpose with these products is, you know, we would like to elevate the game and the playing experience for the players out there. So I think playing cards is such a common activity in our world. So, you know, for me, it's just an effort to elevate their playing experience through these products. So I think, yes, I would like to say that, you know, keep playing.
Can you tell us a little bit about the price points?
Yes. So I would say bicycle, the price point starts from 349 rupees for the basic version. And of course, on the higher versions, I think it even goes up to somewhere close to 2,000. But those cards, I would say, are, you know, it's printed with a different technique, with cold foil, seamless. So I think very collectible in nature, but at the same time, you know, absolutely cutting edge, fantastic.
So Kapil, what about distribution?
So I would say distribution wise, you know, that's a real threat. So not only do we have our own D2C, which is artofcards.in, but I would say we are present across channels. So on the digital space where we have a D2C, we're available on Amazon, Flipkart, we're available on all the quick commerce platforms, so Zepto, Swiggy, Blinkit.
Amazing.
We're there in the organized trade, I would say, you know, the Hamleys chain, the crossword bookstores, the regional small chains, and of course then we have the general trade. which is the bread and butter, where I would say we service almost 4 to 5,000 wholesalers all over the country.
Amazing.
We would be present in about, from what we track, a minimum of 400,000 retail outlets in the general trade. But I'm pretty sure it's more, but it's just that it's impossible to track.
Yeah.
So I would say, and of course, distribution is also evolving today.
Yeah.
So, quick commerce, e-commerce,
Yeah.
and I don't know what's out there, but I would say we're always looking for avenues to improve or increase or escalate the distribution, because ultimately, that's the proof.
Yeah.
That's the proof. That's ultimately what's needed if I really want to make a difference in India, because India is a vast country.
Absolutely. Like even in the content space, Rupak, it's a quote that many people say, but he often says it is, content is king, distribution is God, right? So you have the content and getting it out there is
in fact,
huge.
we're even present, I would say, of course, in all the casinos in India. It's a small market, but we're there in casinos, even in the subcontinent. Of course, we dominate in the United States with another brand of ours called B.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
So
another thing that I haven't yet mentioned, but I must ask you, what is your amazing wife Aditi's role in everything?
So I would say Aditi, she's been with me, I would say, in the business right from day one.
Yeah.
So I would say back in those days, we really wanted to get ourselves out there. This is pre-Katamundi, and I would say she's the one who really stood and was there like a rock. So I would say she was there. I think she was way ahead of her time. So she even created a lot of card games and educational flashcards. This is, of course, before the kids were born.
Yeah.
And along with that, she also sort of, at the back end, when we started, when I joined the business in 01 and she joined in 04, she was the one instrumental in bringing about the entire IT mindset into our company. So she pretty much initiated and executed our ERP project. She still continues to do that today. So I would say she's, the journey wouldn't have been possible without her. She stood by us the entire time. I, in fact, even remember, we used to exhibit in Europe and Asia in various countries, and it was me and Aditi, going with 100 kilos and doing everything by ourselves. So she's done the drill, she's done the hard work.
Amazing. And of course, your amazing kids, I'm sure, are very encouraging of the cards and, playing.
Well, they don't play too much because they're very busy in their sports and academics. But of course, we play a lot of board games. I think for them, they honestly enjoy the board games more. Though I must say they're beginning to enjoy poker.
Yeah, kids are in class together, so I know that.
But I think, yes. And of course, I've also been trying to encourage them to learn and play bridge.
And Kapil, tell us a little bit about the manufacturing of these.
Oh, yes. So I'll give you a little brief about our manufacturing facility. So we're in a location called Pardi in Gujarat, about 20 kilometers north of Daman. We have a greenfield facility there, which we developed in 2012. It's spread over, so currently the building is about 120,000 square feet. We manufacture around close to 500,000 decks a day.
Wow.
We are also a global vendor for Mattel, which means we manufacture the entire card game range, which is Uno, No Mercy, blah, 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 etc. So we do that. So we're doing, so I think our facility is very modern. So we, of course, because we are working with the Mattels, etc., it's very compliant with all the standards. It's a very safe product that we manufacture. I mean, a kid or anyone, even if he or she eats the product, they're going to be fine. So that's the kind of raw materials and safety procedures that we use at the facility.
Amazing.
In fact, we even track every product. So which means that I know exactly the source of all the raw materials behind every deck we manufacture. So I would say it's a growing facility. So I think the times ahead do look good, luckily, and yeah, so I think that's a little bit in a nutshell what we do.
Amazing.
But you should visit the facility sometime.
Yeah,
I think,
no, I'd love to. And
Yes.
coincidentally, the sponsor of season 1 of my show was Mattel.
Oh, wow. Okay, yes.
So I actually went to their headquarters in outside New York when we
Oh,
did
yes,
that.
okay.
So yeah, so
So, yes.
it's nice how it
Wow.
all links back. But thank you, so interesting. As I said, learning so much, and go get your packs.